evening. My name is Kristen Lopez. I'm the Port Jervis School District Board Clerk. I hereby call the reorganizational meeting of July 1st, 2021 to order. Please stand for the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. You may be seated. I will now administer the oath of office to newly elected member Jason Kamar. If you could please step forward. I want the public to know that member Kara Rapp, was sworn in at my office before the meeting. Just raise your right hand and repeat after me. I state your name.
I, Jason Kamar,
Do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of New York,
and the Constitution of the State of New York,
and that I will faithfully discharge the duties
and I will faithfully discharge the duties
of the office of Board of Education member
of the Office of Board of Education member
according to the best of my ability.
according to the best of my ability.
Congratulations. If you just sign the- Karen's clapping. Thank you very much. That's it. Have a seat. I'll now swear in re-elected member Deborah Lash. Please repeat after me. I state your name.
I, Deborah Lash,
Do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of New York,
and the Constitution of the State of New York,
and that I will faithfully discharge the duties
and that I will faithfully discharge the duties
of the office of Board of Education member
of the office of Board of Education member
according to the best of my ability.
according to the best of my ability.
Congratulations. Great, thank you. Okay, we will now have nominations and election of the board president and vice president. May I have a motion and a second to open nominations for school board president?
So moved.
I'll second.
Brian and Judy. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carried. Will someone like to make a motion by raising your hand to nominate a candidate for school board president? Brian Dewey?
I'd like to nominate Debbie Lash.
Do I have a second for this nomination?
I'll second.
Nancy Dunn? Do we have any other nominations? No other nominations?
No.
May I have a motion and a second to close the nominations for school board president?
So moved.
Second.
May I have a motion and a second to approve the election of Deborah Lash as school board president?
So moved.
Second. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carried. May I have a motion and a second to open the nominations for school board vice president?
So moved.
Debbie and Bill Harris, okay. Would someone like to make a motion by raising your hand to nominate a candidate for school board vice president? Judy?
Yes, I'd like to nominate Lois Santini.
Bill, you're seconding that?
Yeah, please.
Are there any other nominations? No, okay. Thank you. Then may I have a motion and a second to close the nominations for school? Debbie? Second for Jason? All right, and lastly, may I have a motion and a second to approve the election of Florence Santini as school board vice president?
I'll move it.
Second.
All right, Flo Santini, would you come up, please, and have your oath?
I, Florence T. Santini,
Do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of New York,
and the Constitution of the State of New York,
and that I will faithfully discharge the duties
and I will faithfully discharge my duties
of the office of Board Vice President
of the office of Board Vice President
according to the best of my ability.
according to the best of my ability.
Thank you, Flo. Congratulations.
Thank you all very much.
Thank you. And Debbie Lash, if you wouldn't mind coming back up, please. Repeat after me, please.
I, Debbie Lash,
Do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of New York,
and the Constitution of the State of New York,
and that I will faithfully discharge the duties
and that I will faithfully discharge the duties
of the office of Board President
of the office of Board President
according to the best of my ability.
according to the best of my ability.
Will you sign this card, and then
And I have to sign
as
this.
Board President, you'll have to swear me in.
Okay, raise your right hand and repeat after me. I state your name.
Kristen Lopez,
Do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of New York,
and the Constitution of the State of New York,
and that I will faithfully discharge
and that I will faithfully discharge
the duties of District Clerk
the duties of District Clerk
according to my ability.
according to my ability.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Kristen.
Well, it's my pleasure to now turn the meeting over to your newly elected president, Debbie Lash.
Okay, so next on the agenda is the reorganizational consent items. These include the designation of official newspapers, radio stations, and television stations, statutory public official bonds, designation of depository, designation of establishing petty cash funds, transfer authority for the superintendent, mileage reimbursement, annual appointments for the 21-22 school year, adoption of the 21-22 code of conduct, adoption of the policy manual for the 21-22 school year, adoption of the policy investments number 520, 521, 5410, and 5411 for the 21-22 school year. And at this time, I'd like an approval, a motion and a second to approve the consent agenda items.
So moved.
And I'll second it.
Brian and Bill Harris, all in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries. Hi, Kara.
Hi there.
Okay, item 3 is to assign a delegate to the Orange County School Boards Association. Each year, we assign one of the board members to attend these meetings. They're generally the first Wednesday of the month. We can assign a designee and an alternate. Is there anyone here who has a particular interest in doing that? Attending either the Orange County School Boards or New York State School Boards? They're in the evening, usually held at BoCE's. I don't don't mind doing it once in a while, but I don't have the availability to do it every single month, so I would definitely need someone willing to do that.
Yes.
It's normally the first Wednesday, right? Yeah. Cannot do it, okay.
I can alternate or do every third
I could do
somebody.
the first Wednesdays.
You can do the first Wednesday? Okay, so Bill said Bill Harris, and then Nancy, you would be available if we need, okay. That worked.
Wonderful, thank you.
Okay, for the past several years, we've been having an audit, we're required to have an audit committee and a visitation committee, and for the past several years, these committees have been the board as a whole. So is that the way we still would like to go, where we all visit the buildings together? And then we have that audit committee meeting as a group? So, okay. All right, so at this time, then I'd like a motion and a second to approve appointment of the board as a whole to these two committees.
I make a motion.
Nancy? Jason seconds, all in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed?
Aye.
Motion carries. Okay, item 3D is the building principal / acting principal resolution for the 21-22 school year. This is in your packet, but it's be it resolved that in the event that the building principal is not physically present in the school on one or more days or portion thereof during the 21-22 school year, the following are appointed acting principal for all short-term student discipline, section 3214 of the New York State Education Law. For the NS Cole Elementary School, it would be Brett Cancredi, principal, and Sadie Roosevelt, acting principal. For Hamilton Bicentennial Elementary, it would be Jared Kamar and Emily Mesnick. For the Port Jervis High School, Anthony Lazaro and David Marr or Heidi Nyland. And for the Port Jervis Middle School, Andrew Murata and Eileen Cook. At this time, could I have a motion and a second? Flo?
Second.
Second by Brian. Any questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carried.
Deb, excuse me. Can we go back to item B, please?
B?
Yes, to.
Oh, sorry, I missed that one. I need a delegate to the New York State School Boards Association, which is that you go attending an annual convention, which the district does pay for. I think this year it's still virtual, right?
I don't believe so. I think
No, it's going to be in New York City? Okay. And it's what, usually 3 days?
3 days.
In October sometime? And then there's usually something in the spring as well, right? Or no, it's all done in October, just the one time? Okay. I don't know the dates for that yet. That's something I can't do because I
Usually
work
around
full.
October 9th and 10th.
October 9th and 10th?
I can let you know.
Okay. That's something I can't do because I'm still working full-time,
Is it
so.
the weekend?
It's usually a Thursday, Friday.
It goes into the weekend.
Yeah. Yeah, but I can let you know the dates when I get back to the office. We can always assign it the next time.
Yeah.
Want to wait, we'll talk about the dates and we'll talk, all right, so you want to put that back on the agenda for next time?
Yes.
It's Sunday through Tuesday.
It's October 24th through October 26th, so Sunday through Thursday,
Tuesday.
or Tuesday, sorry.
I won't be.
You won't be here, okay. So why don't we defer this item till next meeting?
Wilson,
Flo said she'll do it, okay, that takes care of
You'll
that.
do it, Flo? Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Flo, you'll be staying at the Hilton?
Where do you want me to stay?
In your car.
It actually is at the Hilton.
Yeah, I'll be down.
Okay. So Flo's gonna do that, all right. Sorry about that one.
Okay, wait a minute. Let me get back there.
You ready? Okay. All right, so did we have a motion and a second on that one?
I'll push it.
And a second from Jason, all in favor? Anyone opposed? Motion carries. Okay, so now we're into item E, correct, Chris? Okay. Principal / acting principal resolution for special education students being educated out of the district for the 21-22 school year. Can I have a motion and a second for this item, please?
I'll move it.
Judy?
Second.
Flo? Okay, so this says, be it resolved that the Director of Pupil Personnel is appointed acting principal for all short-term student discipline matters pursuant to section 3214 of the New York State Education Law for all special education students being educated out of district for the 21-22 school year. Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries. Wait a couple seconds so you get a chance to say it, Kara, sorry about that. Okay, item F is the CSE vendor list for the 21-22 school year. Could I have a motion and a second to bring this item to the floor, please?
So moved.
Brian?
Second.
Bill? Second. Are there any questions on this item? All in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries. Item G is special education committee members for the 21-22 school year. May I have a motion and a second to bring this item to the floor, please?
I'll move it.
Bill?
Second.
Flo? Are there any questions on this item? All in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries. Item H is designee and alternate designee to appoint impartial hearing officers for the 21-22 school year. May I have a motion and a second to bring this item to the floor for discussion?
I'll move.
Flo?
Second.
Jason? Any questions on this item? All in favor? Oh, wait a minute, hold on.
I mean, does it have to be the president and the vice president? Is that how it normally goes?
That's how it normally
I would,
goes.
yeah,
Or do we have to designate?
I would say that the default would be the president and vice president.
Any other question? All in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries. Okay, item I is impartial hearing officers for the 21-22 school year. May I have a motion and a second to bring this item to the floor, please?
I'll move it.
Judy?
Second.
Second by Nancy. Any questions on this item? All in favor? Anyone opposed? Motion carries. Item J is section 504, committee members for the 21-22 school year. I'll accept a motion and a second to bring this item to the floor, please.
I'll move it.
Judy?
Second.
Second by Brian. Any questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries. Item 3K is a letter of engagement for legal services for the 21-22 school year for Ingram and Smith LLP. May I have a motion and a second to bring this item to the floor, please?
I'll move it.
Judy?
Second.
Second by Brian. Flo?
No discussion.
Discussion?
I would just like to know, Mr. Rydell, if there's any kind of big change or in their contract for what they've done for us. They've done a lot for us, especially this past year.
There was a slight increase.
I tried reading it, but we need a lawyer to read that.
There's an increase in their hourly rate for things that are outside the scope of the retainer.
Okay,
So that would be, i.e. contract negotiations, things along that nature. But no, there was nothing substantive of change in the contract at all, because we have Ingram and Smith as our all-encompassing school attorney on behalf of the Board of Education, as opposed to parsing it out. Sorry, I apologize. No, the only change is the hourly rate increased by $5 per hour
and that was for other stuff out of the
for
district.
things outside of that are covered among the retainer. So that would be for ancillary services such as contract negotiations, things along that nature. But other than that, the contract remains unchanged. They are our all-encompassing attorney for the school board, and as opposed to some models where you would parse it out for different specific things among different law firms.
I appreciate it.
Thank you.
I tried reading it, and it's like, let me call a lawyer.
It's written by lawyers.
I need a lawyer.
Any other questions on that item? All in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries. Okay, at this time, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn the reorganizational meeting.
I'll move it.
I'll say.
Judy and Flo, all in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries. 6:19. Okay, at this time, I'd like to call the regular business meeting to order. Could we stand for a pledge again? Do we have to do it again, right?
Yeah, 'cause it's a separate meeting.
Judy, would you lead us in the pledge, please?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation,
may be seated. At this time, I'd like a motion and a second to approve the board meeting agenda, please. Bill?
Second?
Second by Brian. All in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries. Okay, so the next item on the agenda is that of public comment. Individuals wishing to speak during public comment are signed up already. Speakers will address their comments to the board president or the superintendent. The privilege of public comment is limited to enrolled students, their parents, residents, taxpayers, and employees of the Port Jervis City School District. Your comments are restricted to no more than 5 minutes, and I would ask that Brian be the timekeeper, please. Speakers may not discuss in public comment certain topics such as the following: particular employees or students, health or medical issues, discipline, hiring or firing of an individual, labor negotiations, or litigation. So at this time, we do have 2 people signed up to speak this evening, and they are in attendance. And the first person is Ann Horsham. Please come to the podium, Mrs. Horsham, and just identify yourself, please. Thank you.
I don't think so. Thank you. Hi, everybody. Congratulations, and God bless you guys on your new year. Which I do that. Hello. Hello, okay. So I came tonight with a specific purpose. I had found out that I haven't been involved in a really long time and have not been involved. But during the election time, the campaigning time, I learned that there was no public comment time allotted. I realized you were on Zoom, and I know we were all, thrown off our entire world. But I did find out that there was no allowance for the public input in the Zoom meetings, which didn't make any, sense to me, because I had the best meeting I ever had with Superintendent Rydell and the 2 supers. This was going back, I don't know, it was probably a year ago, 2 years, I lost track of time. Anyway, all my involvements in the school district, I told them, they know, I said this was the most welcome I ever felt, and it was a really good meeting, and it was all about community connections. It was wonderful. So when I saw, I was like, no public comment, I couldn't wrap that around my brain that could happen. So I bring it to the board, and I would like to ask the board, I know it's a new board and new year, but nobody should ever stand for no public comment time, and inviting people to come. I did do a little research when I found out, because I went on as many districts as I could remember on the websites to find out what are other districts doing. You weren't alone. I think it's safe to say most districts didn't have anything on their websites for public comment, and I was very surprised. But there were about 5 that did find a way to, whether it was, and you could find, I was looking at websites as not a community person, not knowing anything about the school, and I found that, okay, Middletown, you do, you email, you do what they have the instructions, which means to me that it's really important I know it's important to you too, but they made allowance, they made a way, a process, and anyone that wanted to would have to find out what the process was, and their questions or their comments were addressed at the live meeting, on Zoom. So, but like I said, I believe most districts didn't do that, but I wouldn't want to be in that category. So that's it. I just kind of wanted to come tonight to say this to, you know, a new board here, and because I think it's that important to always, you know, allow the opportunity for folks to come, and I know you want that. So, and I thank you very much.
Thanks, Pete. Thanks, Pete.
Thank you, Mrs. Orchel. Okay, the next person signed up to speak this evening is Barbara Marzalek, and it's for the same topic.
Good evening, and congratulations to all new board members and all the returning ones. This is hopefully going to be an exciting year. There has been quite a few challenges in the last school year, including some of the, as Annie so well put, input from the community. And reading your mission statement and understanding that you are about the community and about the students that go to the school district, and how important it is for members of the community to be able to speak and to be able to address certain concerns, especially when there's meetings going on. The importance of that is because you are and have that mission statement. It's an uncompromising concern here with the community to be part of the community, and you all are a part of the community. So it's that commitment. Many of the community members kind of were disoriented when they couldn't reach out or engage in certain aspects. And part of that engagement was when they had students go into the school district, and many of them were doing Zoom, and they weren't actually in classrooms. All they had was their own voices. And for not to be able to come to a meeting, but not to be able to, at least online, to make a comment or ask a question, for them was very concerning, because an entire year went by. So it's just for something to consider moving forward. This was a very, unexpected challenge that not just Port Jervis, but of course the state, the country, and the world was facing. And so we had to make an adjustment, so to speak, during this time. But I'm excited to see some new faces and some older faces, not old in the age, just coming back for engagement here. As Mrs. Horsham also said, I also was very impressed by the engagement of the superintendent and the assistant superintendent in his involvement with the school and the community, and embracing community members to join in communal meetings. And I also have attended them in the past. It would be nice to attend them again moving forward in the future, so that the community members are more engaged in things happening with the students and the school. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mrs. Marzalek.
So if I could, I just wanted to thank both of you for the comments, well received and obviously well communicated. And just to work backwards, Barbara, you're absolutely right. The community partnerships were fantastic meetings, and just it was our immediate community, but also extended out across Orange County. We had membership there, and it really opened up a lot of doors for our school district and a lot of partnerships. And there is definitely a plan to get those going again this upcoming school year, because it was very disappointing that those needed to stop in the spring of 2020, because it's how I met both of you. So, and regarding the parents and the communication in that regard, I would just say that parents that needed to contact the school district, certainly public comment when it's in regards to a concern with their child or education, that would not be necessarily the best first step. The best first step would be to contact the teacher, building administrator, and of course my office. And throughout this pandemic, parents have been outstanding in communicating with us, through email and through all the other modalities. But all of that notwithstanding, your points are well stated, and as I respect both of you, I respect exactly what you said, and I do not disagree with the words you said in that regard. So thank you. And moving forward, there will be public comment in this format. And I'm sorry, just one last thing, if that's okay. One of the conversations that we had early on, and this is much earlier on when we were mainly remote, was there was the regulations that allowed for flexibility in the meeting format. One of the things was we recognized the value of a more authentic, authentic form of public comment as opposed to emails or reading emails aloud, because there's a lot lost in that. But I will tell you that was the end of that conversation. So again, thank you very much for your comments and for being here tonight. It's good to see the public here.
Okay, next item on the agenda is administrative reports. Mr. Pantaleone?
Thank you, Ms. Lash. I'm thrilled to share that we are currently tracking to have the highest enrollment for our summer program in recent history. We have over 500 students at the elementary level enrolled, and also 200 at our secondary level. And I really just want to recognize our summer school staff and administrators who's been doing a phenomenal job. Programs have been developed to address not only learning gaps, but enrichment, along with extracurricular programming. And so the program will start on Wednesday, July 7th, all at the 209 complex. And I'm also excited to share on Tuesday, July 6th, to prepare for the summer program, we have a full day of professional development for our staff, and highlighting that training is the IXL platform, the Seesaw communication app at our elementary level, and our Eureka Math curriculum as well. In addition, workshops will be available for item analysis, curriculum mapping, and also planning with colleagues. Thank you.
Thanks, Mr. Pantaleone. Mr. Rydell?
Thank you very much, and I just want to begin by saying that the board may not fully recognize this, but this is Mr. Pantaleone's last board meeting with us. So he will be here for the next 2 weeks, but I would like to take this opportunity to thank Nick in front of the Board of Education for his incredible work ethic and diligence over the past 3 years as the Assistant Superintendent for Instruction. Mr. Pantaleone has been instrumental in leading the curriculum and instruction initiatives, done fantastic work with curriculum mapping, intervention services, instructional technology. I'll just go with et cetera, because it's a long list. So there are a long list of accomplishments, but much of which the board is well aware of, so I'll leave it as a sincere thank you to you, Nick, for a job well done, and I wish you nothing but continued success in all that you pursue. I want to just congratulate the class of 2021. It was a wonderful experience to be a part of the commencement ceremony. The entire class graduating together with their family and friends in the stands. It was just an amazing view from that stage, and just an experience that I will never forget. And I just wanted to thank Mr. Murata and the entire high school team, but Mr. Murata being in attendance this evening, just thank you for the hard work, the attention to detail, and the incredible communication with students, the community, etc. Just an outstanding job. And Mr. Murata began his journey as the middle school principal effective today, but just you leave an incredible legacy at that high school, and it was really punctuated with what took place on Friday evening. So awesome job. And also a standalone thank you to the senior class advisors, Mrs. Shields, Mrs. Perkowski, and Mrs. Doherty. Just an unbelievable job for all that they did to make the senior year as special and memorable as possible. So, and knowing that Nick covered summer school, which we are very excited about, I will close with a sincere thank you to the entire learning community once again for the flexibility, cooperation, and patience this past year. I feel like July 1st truly marks the beginning of a new year, so thank you for what took place in the previous year. The work that the parents did is, to get through this year. The students do an incredible job with everything thrown at them. Our faculty, staff, and administration, this was a trying year for all. And as I reflected on this past year, throughout this week, I just wanted to once again express my appreciation for everyone's flexibility and incredible commitment this year. Next year will be, this is my extremely confident message, will be a huge improvement over the 2020-21 school year. I think we'll see a very big difference in our modalities in our buildings, and I am looking forward to that. So with that, I hope everyone has a chance to enjoy the summer. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Rydell. Okay, item 8 is the consent items. These include the minutes from the June 15, 2021 regular meeting, minutes from the CPSE meetings for 6/7, 6/11, 6/15, 6/21, 6/23, and 6/25/21. The minutes from the CSE meetings for 4/30/21, 6/2, 6/7, 6/8, 6/9, 6/10, 6/11, 6/14, 6/15, 6/17, 6/18, and 6/21/21. At this time, I'd like a motion and a second to approve the consent agenda items, please. Nancy? Jason? All in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries. Item 9 is personnel employment items. These include leave of absences, resignation administrative staff, position 620, assistant superintendent for instruction, resignation instructional staff, position 65, French teacher, resignation instructional staff, position number 207, science teacher, resignation instructional staff, position 609, elementary art teacher, resignation of previous titles for new appointments, support staff, appointment instructional staff, vacancy 2282, position 284, elementary teacher, appointment instructional staff, vacancy 2314, summer school teachers, appointment support staff, vacancy 2315, temporary summer school teacher aides, monitors, cook manager, senior food service helper, and food service helpers, appointment instructional staff, vacancy number 2319, position 3511, social worker, appointment instructional staff, vacancy 2327, position 3512, speech therapist, appointment instructional staff, vacancy 2328, position 172, visual arts teacher, appointment support staff, vacancy 2331, probationary promotional custodians, appointment instructional staff, vacancy 2337, position 556, technology education teacher, appointment support staff, vacancy 2338, position 442, provisional senior payroll clerk, appointment instructional staff, vacancy 2339, position 65, French teacher, appointment support staff, vacancy 2340, temporary summer school part-time clerk typist, appointment support staff, temporary summer school substitute clerk typist, appointment support staff, substitute cleaner, correction to board docs personnel agenda item from February 9th, 2021 meeting, and correction to board docs personnel agenda item from June 15th, 2021 meeting. At this time, I'd like a motion and a second to approve these items, please.
I'll move it. I'll second.
Bill and Judy. All in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion
Aye.
carries. Okay. Did you have something to say, Mr. Render? Go ahead.
I just wanted to recognize, let me just scroll up to the appointment. G is instructional staff, vacancy 2282, position 284, elementary teacher. That faculty member is Julianne Tiano, and she had an incredible series of interviews, including the interview that she had it with a district office, and I was just super impressed with her. And I say all this because Julianne is actually here, and so Julianne, if you could just wave, and if we could all just welcome Julianne to the board chair of the Senate Committee. Thank you for taking the time to be here.
And welcome.
Speech.
No, we're not gonna put her on the spot, do that. Okay, item 10 is action items, policy, second and final readings of policies 1240, 1250, 1300, 1310, 1320, 1321, 1322, 3310, 6212.2, and 7670. May I have a motion and a second to bring these items to the floor? Nancy? Flo, any question? All in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed?
Aye.
Motion carries.
Keep taking this post.
It's on a delay.
Delay.
Is there a delay? Is it?
Just a little bit, yeah, and I heard you that time, but after the fact, so I'll hold on. I'll make sure I wait for you.
Haven't proposed anything yet, so you know.
Okay. Okay, so at this time, board member comments. We'll start Nancy.
I just wanted to congratulate all the seniors again, and Mr. Morano specifically. The whole field looked so beautiful, like one of the best years of all the graduations that I've been to. The whole program was wonderful. The student speakers were awesome. Everybody was so relevant. And the senior parade, which is a tradition that you started, Mr. Morano, was just another, it was just kind of a tearjerker. It was very, so wonderful to see all these kids so happy and just jointly on the same page. So if you're a community member and you didn't step out to see that, you should go next year and just stand on the sidelines. It's a wonderful thing. And that's all. Everybody have a good summer.
Thank you. Mr. Kmart, I hate to put you on the spot as a new guy on the block, but
Well, as a new guy on the block, I'm gonna keep it pretty short, not much for me to add. Thank you to everybody in attendance, thank you board, admin. Looking forward to moving forward. I hope everybody has a good 4th of July weekend. Stay safe, stay healthy.
Judy.
I too would like to comment on what a beautiful graduation that was. That is by far the best thing about being on the school board, is to watch those kids come across the platform and be there to graduate, and to graduate them. Also, I wish Mr. Hank the best of luck.
Brian?
Judy beat me to the punch, but congratulations to Mr. Pantaleone. And just reading this agenda the other day, I came across Austin Wilson's name, and kind of got blown away a little bit because I've known him for so long, and he was in, obviously, the mind of my wife when he was only a freshman in high school, and now he's going to be a teacher here. I just wanted to congratulate him, and best of luck.
Bill?
I too just want to congratulate the graduates of 2021. What a different experience being on this side of the stage and looking out. And hats off to our community. Our buildings and grounds crew did a great job setting up. And I also just want to wish Mr. Murata and Mr. Lazaro all the best in your new assignments. I look forward to working with all of you for another year. And congratulations to our new board members. And have a safe and healthy summer, everyone.
Flo?
Well, I guess, like everyone else for graduation, I just thought, I've only been to a few, and I appreciate the ride down. But I really do, and the ride up, but I tell you, it was, I don't think beautiful or wonderful, it could be a word for it. The weather was a little warm, but we don't think about that. But to see the kids and see the graduates and the teachers and the parents and grandparents and friends up in the stands, I just want to thank you, because it's not a one person thing, it's a group effort, and everybody knows when you work together, this is how it comes out. I did tell Mr. Rydell after graduation, someone stopped me, and it must have been somebody's grandmother. I'm not going to put a title on her, but I believe it was somebody's grandmother, and thanked me for having graduation. And I looked at her, and she said, "You don't know what this did to me, that I was able to be here with everybody in my family and for the kids and stuff." And I just said, I am so happy we are here too, and I'm glad you enjoyed it. But she literally stopped me, grabbed my arm and said, I just want to thank you. And I said, I will pass it along. So, Mr. Murata, I mean, you have done an awesome job. And next year, you will be there. I know you will, because you'll be sitting right next to us and stuff. But, you know, I want to thank you because it is a group effort, and all the hands that play into this, it's awesome. I just want to thank you. And the administration, I mean, we're giving all it has to give. And these kids, sending them on their rest of their life from here. And I thank you all.
I bought a year's supply of bubble wrap, by the way.
And Mr. Pantaleone, good luck in your future endeavors. This is mine.
Well, I don't want to be too repetitive, but you can't say enough about how wonderful graduation was. I mean, last year was wonderful in light of the circumstances. This year was phenomenal. From the way the field looked to the kids, the families. The one thing that I took away from it, and I mean this sincerely, it is the best bunch of young adults I think I've ever witnessed here. There wasn't anybody talking during speeches. They were very respectful. I don't know if it's because they all got to be together and they were enjoying that moment. But every time someone spoke, they all turned and watched, and I was really impressed. And, thanks to anybody who had a hand, from B&G right on up to you, Mr. Murata, and the administration. It just was a fabulous evening. So again, I didn't see the parade. I wasn't here for that, but I did watch it online in different clips, so it is a great thing, and I wish you and Mr. Lazaro the best in your new assignments. And Nick, I wish you the very best too. We'll miss seeing your face here, but hopefully we'll hear from you once in a while and you'll let us know how you're doing. So good luck to you, and I hope everybody has a healthy and enjoyable summer and gets to take some family time.
The person that's in the TV, the little screen, she wants to say something.
Mrs. Rapp, would you like to say something?
I sure would. Good evening, everybody. Can you hear me?
Yeah?
Yes.
I'm coming to you from Manasquin Beach. It is raining outside, but it was sunny all day. So I would just like to thank the board community members. I'd like to congratulate 2021 graduates, many of whom were my former 5th grade students. And I want to thank the voters for having the faith in me to execute this important position. Thank you to those who fiercely advocated for me so I could be in a position to advocate for you. I look forward to serving a district that is near and dear to my heart. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Rapp. Okay, this time we'll have discussion of committee membership. Building Educational Planning Team and DLT Committee. Nancy, I think you offered to serve on that last year. Would you like to do it again? Mr. Harris, did you have any interest in continuing on that since you're going to take on the school board?
Which one was that?
BEPT and DLT, you'd like to stay on that? Anyone else?
I do have a particular interest in the Education Committee. This is Kara.
Okay. All right, so Nancy and Bill Harris for BEPT and DLT. All right, Deer Park Liaison, Mrs. Santini, can we continue to have you as that rep?
Yes, please.
All right, Kara expressed the desire in Education Committee. Anyone else?
That meets during the day though, right?
That generally meets around like 3 o'clock, right? Usually?
Could you repeat that, please? Did you say that meets at 3 o'clock?
Mr. Rydell's going to explain when it's been meeting, okay?
Yeah, the meetings have varied as far as the start times. We try to start them so that we capture the teacher attendance immediately following their contractual day. But note that this is a board committee, so we can also have a variety of dates, including working out something where we maybe have a few evening meetings, and it could be multiple board members there.
Well, if I could just know about the evenings, I would be happy to, participate.
Sure.
Able to.
We'll set up an education. So this past school year, since March of 2020, we combined our health and safety committees with our education committees just because it they were interconnected. But when we have our education committee in the fall, we'll figure out a format in order to have increased board involvement, because we do want you as part of that process, because there are many things that come out of that education committee.
Thank you.
Anyone else for that one?
I'll jump in on that one.
Jason? Okay, so Health and Wellness Committee,
I'd like to be on
Nancy? Flo, want to be on that one? Anyone else? The NISBA delegate, we said would be Flo, and the OXBA delegate will be Bill, and Nancy will be the alternate, right? Policy Committee, I'd like to be on that one. That's generally a monthly meeting. They've been nice enough to meet during lunchtime, so I can go. Anybody else have a desire to be on that one?
Yeah.
Nancy? Okay, and then Safety Committee,
I'll be on.
Flo,
I as well.
Jason? Anyone else? Okay, now that doesn't mean, we normally announce when the meetings are at our meeting here, so if someone has a desire, as long as we don't have more than 4 board members in attendance, because that would be violation of open meeting laws, anybody's more than welcome to join a meeting at any time, okay? All right. Okay, so the next item is dates to remember. It's a long list, isn't it, or no? Is there a
It's
list of them?
just right on the,
Oh, just on here, okay. The next meeting of the Board of Education will be Tuesday, July 20th, 2021, at 7 p.m. here in the high school cafeteria. I just wanted to remind everyone in the public that we will have a limited number of seats available for the public to attend this meeting in person. Those wishing to attend the meeting in person must sign up with the district clerk via email or phone call no later than 4 p.m. on Monday, July 19th, 2021. Okay, at this time, I'll entertain a motion to enter into executive session, not to reconvene, for the purpose of discussion of matters leading to the appointment, employment, promotion, demotion, discipline, suspension, dismissal, or removal of a particular person or corporation.
I'll second
Also have litigation.
Oh, there's also litigation to be discussed. So Bill Harris moved and second by Brian. All in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries. So for all those in the audience, you're free to leave. It's executive session and we will not be coming back.